Have you ever been rejected? Dealing with rejection is what we're looking at today. We've all been rejected at one point or another, whether it be from a love interest, from a job you've applied to, or even from a group of friends. Whichever kind of rejection you've faced, the fact of the matter is, rejection hurts. And we're saying, why does it hurt? Why does it hurt, Nahesha? Does anybody know why it hurts? I have my own theory, but let's hear yours.
It hurts because you felt as though you're not good enough. It hurts because you might, especially if let's say for the job interview, you would have gone up for the post along with other persons. You felt as though those persons are better than you. It hurts for different reasons, and I guess my reason probably won't be your reason.
That's true.
But it just hurts. You feel bad. You feel it's bad.
Right. I think, because when I was thinking about this, I was saying, I mean, why should it matter if a particular group of people don't like you or don't accept you for, the way you are?
Because
why should
at
it
the
matter?
end of the day, it's still tied to our emotions.
And why should it matter if, you just didn't get that particular job? Why should it matter? Like, I was saying it to myself just to kind of really think, because we all know it matters.
It does.
It matters, but you're wondering, why does it really matter? It matters because even though there are those of us who say we are introverts, you're okay being by yourself and all of that stuff, we are made up as human beings to depend on each other. None of us can survive alone. It's innate. We were made that way. That's why, for even in the beginning, when we hear about the Bible story, God made Adam and then he had to give him Eve because it's not good for the man to be alone.
Right.
You understand? And we're not just talking about when we're looking at relationships, but even in social circumstances, it is important for us to be together for survival. I mean, how do you survive in this world by yourself? It's not supposed to happen. And so when you find yourself not being accepted by other people who you wanted, you desired to be a part of them, a part of the group, a part of the company, a part of the business place. When you go and apply for a job, sometimes it's just because you want some money. Other times it may be something that you really aspired for and you wanted to be a part of it and you were turned down.
As humans, though, I believe that we tie rejection just to relationships. And no, it comes in so many forms.
Yes, definitely does. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was looking up what is rejection, and the definition I have here, it shows you just what you just said. Social rejection occurs when an individual is deliberately excluded from a social relationship or social interaction. The topic includes personal rejection, interpersonal rejection, romantic rejection, and this one is a heavy one, familial estrangement. Now, people, this is a big fancy word, face say, your family now want nothing to do with you.
Yeah, basically.
When you are estranged from your family, I think, in my opinion, this is probably the worst form of rejection.
Because when everybody else leave, you should be able
you
to
should
go to
be able
family.
to have family, no matter what happens. This is just my opinion. I don't know, maybe other people agree. No matter what happens, no matter how bad things get, your family should always be there. That's what I think. You should always have your family. So it's saying that a person can be rejected by individuals or an entire group of people. So it's not just about romantic, me love him and him not love me kind
Type
of
of
rejection.
thing, yeah.
No, it goes right across.
You remember
the
that
board.
game if you used to play it when you were younger, where you have a flower and you pick the petals and say, he loves me, he loves me not.
Now think about it. What if you find out say he really don't love you for true?
Hey,
And
you know, go take up one petal and drop it and say he loves me and eat that.
That just brings me to ask Nahesha, have you ever been rejected? Like, you can remember of
You've
of
asked me this before, and off the bat I said, hell no, no.
too good to be rejected, right?
But after thinking about it, of course, after thinking that rejection don't just come in one form, yes, I have.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
applied for a job once, and I was not accepted for the reason that, of just not being experienced enough at the time when they needed somebody, because they needed somebody who could just fill the position immediately without training. And I
Right.
didn't have that
training that was
experience.
required.
So it was a bum feeling, but I understood why. And I'm sure if I should think back, I would have been rejected otherwise too for other things.
Yeah, definitely. And so, is there anything that you picked up from that? Learning that you didn't get chosen for that position. Did it do anything to you?
So at that time, the position was a media position. And when I realized that I was short on something, I said, here what? I am going to go to CPTC and I'm going to start my vocal thing there, because I think they do like voice and speech,
training
radio
stuff.
stuff and whatever. And so I started out by doing oral fluency. So the next step would have been voice and speech. I'm not gonna do it yet, but I will be doing it in the future. But yeah, that led me to go to school, because I wouldn't want to be in a position again where I apply for a job that I really want to get into and not experience.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. So we stick a pin into that point, because we might just come back to it. For me, I sat down and I really tried to examine it really, really hard to say, okay, how was I rejected? And I can go as far back as grade 1.
Okay, then.
I was able to go as far back as grade 1. And I made mention of this because there would have been more recent situations. But I made mention of this because when you really look into it, there are so many situations where we find ourselves, getting rejected. We may not have really thought it as rejection in the word, the sense
And I'm
of the
glad
word
you
at the
say
time.
that. Stick up in right there, because guess what? You can be rejected at different parts of your life or age or stage of your life, and it doesn't affect you then. But then as you grow and as you understand what it is, it starts affect you. Because
That
I would have
is the
remembered being
point.
rejected when I was younger. It don't matter to me whether or not.
That is a point I was trying to make, because I started to remember that a lot of my self-esteem issues as a teenager and even as a young
Started
adult
from grade 1.
started from way there.
Yeah.
Like I started gradually to realize that, okay, I was a little different somewhat from a lot of persons, and I wasn't always accepted in the
Different how?
in the sense that, all right, so like there were things about myself that I didn't really like when I was in high school. And I started to realize that I never did like it from long before that, from when I was way younger. And, it made me feel, so I wasn't, in my opinion, I did not see myself as one of the popular kids, the ones that everybody's, all
Also, you didn't
over and
fit
everybody
into the
wants
circle.
Yes, I didn't fit in. And I started realizing that was happening from way back when.
Okay.
Now, I'm at the stage, and thank God, I have overcome some of the challenges that I had and realized that, listen, who I am is who I am, and I love me. I accepted myself, I started loving myself, and
Right.
I mean, sometimes I'm not going to say it doesn't bother me. Sometimes if I find myself meeting in a situation where somebody doesn't accept me, but most of the time, no, like, who cares? I don't care. Like, you can think whatever you want to think. I don't care. But I really started to realize that a lot of the insecurities that I had growing up was because from way back when I was in primary school, a lot of the kids and even teachers, I remember I have a teacher, and I'm saying have because this is not past tense. I have a teacher that taught me in grade 6. I will not call her name. I don't like a bone in the woman. I don't like her. I didn't like what she did to me. I didn't like the way she treated me, allowed me to feel less than myself, less than other people. She compared. So she had a thing where she separated the class. She was a teacher that loved math.
Right.
And if you were a student that wasn't good at math, I wasn't good at math. I am not even now good at math. If you were one of those unfortunate students to be not good at math, she put you over here, say, in a one corner. So there was like a group of us over here, so in a one corner, and then the rest of class over here, so. So it's like a dunce corner and a bright corner. And that messed me up so much. And I'm telling you, it traveled with me for many, many years. It fed a lot of my insecurities. And so these are some of the things. Rejection can cause depression.
Yeah.
It can cause all different kind of things. And that is one of the reasons why we are even looking at it today. Because it's something that really came home to me. And I realized that it must be something that a lot of our teenagers are dealing with.
Especially in a time like now.
Yes. Especially where in this time where you want to fit into everything that is happening. These young people are just trying to, nobody wants to dare to be different.
Yeah.
You understand me? And so we find that we have some serious challenges.
Yes, we do.
But rejection can happen to any one of us. And so we have some things here that we are saying that can help you to deal with rejection if and when you experience it.
So basically, I want to underscore what you said to say that, listen, usually when you feel like you're always being rejected, it has a root cause or it's coming from somewhere.
Yes.
So maybe you need to dig deeper and say, no man, why me always feel away when it's stemming from somewhere that happened probably way in the past.
Yes, and that is what
whatever.
I'm saying. You know, that's how I started realizing that, no man, because recently something happened. You would have, been privy to it. I'm not going to go into details about it. And I felt the feeling, that feeling of why is it that, this person or these particular persons have a problem with me? I haven't done anything. I was examining myself and saying, I haven't done anything to them. Why is it them don't like me? What me do? I haven't done anything to them. Why is it like this? But then I had to remind myself that it doesn't have to be anything that I did.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that to you today. Being rejected doesn't mean you did anything wrong.
And maybe they have that root cause too that is causing them to.
Yes, because a lot of times people do, treat people badly because of things that they are dealing with.
Right.
And dealing with it in the wrong way.
Exactly.
You understand me? So, yes.
Exactly.
So, if you find yourself on the receiving end of rejection, there are things to do to help you get through. So, the first thing we're saying, understand that rejection is normal. Normal in the sense that it can happen to anyone, and many of us, if not all of us, experience it. Understand that, because the first thing that rejection does to you when it happens, it starts to make you feel like, it's just you not good enough, and are you alone, and I'm the only one experiencing this, I'm the only one they don't like, and all of that and all of that. And when you find yourself in that corner, it gets really dark and really bitter. You become very angry, or you become very depressed, or so many other things can happen. So understand that you're not alone, and it's not just because, okay, me know this and me know that, and you start to question yourself. You understand me? Whether you are an introvert or an extrovert, we all have an innate desire to be around other people for survival, and that is the reason why you felt like you did not fit in or something was wrong when you were rejected by him, her, or they. You understand me? But it doesn't mean that there is something wrong with you.
True.
Next thing.
Another one that we can look at is practice self-care. No, self-care is everywhere nowadays. Everybody's talking about self-care and taking a time just to unwind and whatever. Practice self-care. Now, let's say you feel like you not look up to standard, right? I don't know. What does I use that one?
Yeah, man.
Or you need to lose weight and you feel like you're not fitting in one particular circle of slim, trim, and not forgot gym people. You need to lose a little weight. Start exercising. You don't have to tell nobody, say, boy, I may do this because X, Y, and Z. If you, especially if it's doing something to your health.
Exactly.
Exercise. We're not saying if we do it for 15, but just practice self-care. Once it's bothering you, go out there and say, I'm going to try some yoga, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to take care of myself. And guess what? Self-care also means love yourself as you are. Yeah? So love yourself. Looking at the mirror every day and you tell yourself, so listen, no matter what, I love you. People not love you,
Exactly. You have to first
it
love yourself.
It sounds very weird.
And the thing about it is too, you know, I understand what you mean when you say people don't have to love you, but you see, when you start to love yourself, it's like
It's
it
easier for somebody to love you. Yeah.
because you start to love yourself and you become
accepting you
lovable.
for you, and so because you know walk up there with once. Listen, you see confidence, you can see it.
Yes.
I can sense
and
it.
it's contagious, like it pulls people into you, or it's magnetic.
Yes. So when you walk out a door and people see how confident you are in all your glory,
yes,
whether fine or thick. If you go out there and you welcome, we spoke about this in a previous episode where we talk about like find what fits you and suits you, and listen, dress yourself in a way where you like it. When you like it, and go out there. If you not like it, shut your eye. You understand?
Like I'm saying, enough time
make things bother you.
In this time now, when I have gotten over some things, like some of the time, you just walk and go about my business, and I could care less if you want like me. I don't care.
Self-care. If I like something, it's okay. You don't have to like it. I mean, that's how I deal with some things. You don't.
That's true.
A lot of people love to walk up to me and go, "Why did you color your hair in that?" I'm gonna try to fix my. Why did you have to do that? Why do you have to ask me that question?
Yeah.
Clearly, it's because I like it.
Yeah, and it's my
Why
hair.
do you feel like you need to walk to somebody and ask them why you did something? They did it because they like it. And even if you don't like it, you don't. Shut up.
And you see, as you mentioned that, you know, you see, a lot of times we do those things because we have this bad tendency. Well, I think it's bad. I don't know. Again, to want everybody to look the one way.
Or it still goes back to the fact that maybe somebody did it to you and you feel like you should do it to somebody else.
Yeah, maybe that's true. Yeah, because we live and we learn, and we monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
So that may be true as well.
Stop it. If you see somebody wearing something, clearly they must have like, if it not fit right, that's not your business. You understand? Leave that alone. So practice self-care, love yourself first, put yourself first always.
Yes. You have to love yourself, because if you don't, you can't expect and demand and ask other people to love you. All right, so the next thing, process your emotions. So after doing self-care, because it's a process, you know, it's a step. You're going in steps and stages. So you first acknowledge and accept what rejection is and why it happens, your self-care, and then you process the emotion. Self-care helps you to clear your mind, clear your head from, because trust me, there are a lot of things that happens when you experience rejection. You become angry, and when you're angry and start to cuss and say, whether it's relationship, you cuss out the man or the woman. If it's a group of people, you cuss them out, like, you know, for example, in cases where we would have experienced some things in church, cuss out the church people there. And say things where you know if you say, and so, you know, when you do self-care, when you exercise, you meditate, you clear your mind, it allows you to process your emotion, know what you're feeling, and prevent yourself from doing or saying things that you shouldn't.
You go in a zen mood.
Yeah, man, and then you start being able to say, okay, you know what, all right, it's fine.
Usa.
They rejected me. But that doesn't mean I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
You start to examine yourself, examine what you're feeling, examine the situation so that you can clearly and properly deal with it. Definitely, I think processing the emotion helps, because when you become emotional, and anger and sadness and bitterness and all of the different kind of feelings,
you don't see clearly.
You don't see clearly. You will behave and react irrationally. So it's best to process and to, you know, deal with it well. Yeah, definitely.
The next one we want to look at is practice self-affirmation. Right? So you see, after you do your self-care and you go back in the mirror and you look back on yourself now, you start speak things. Yes. I am smart.
Yes.
I am good. And you start, if you can't say it out of your mouth for the first, write it down on paper and paste them everywhere. So everywhere you go, you see them.
Yes,
everywhere you go, you see them, until you can start saying it and hearing it and then believe in it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You understand?
Definitely.
Say it every day. Whatever you want to be, I am this, I am that. I am good enough. I don't need to be good enough for others, but I am good enough for myself.
Yes.
Say these things to yourself.
Yes, definitely. And I know while you were saying that, the thought popped into my head, because I'm one of those people who I don't really like to do self-affirmations. It makes me feel silly. So I know that sometimes it can make you feel silly, but do it anyways.
I can say that I maybe can count on my hand how much time I try doing that, and I have to be in some situation where I tell you say fear cripple me. Well, me do kind of do self-affirmation before I start that video here because I'm not really in the mood. And but I have to say, okay, you can do this. Let's do this type of thing. So yeah, but other than that, you have times when I am just fearful of what is going to come after I do this thing, and I have to say, listen, this is going to be fine. And even if it doesn't turn out the way you plan or you want it to turn out, it's still going to be fine.
Yes.
So I have to say it sometimes too.
Yes, true.
To say it sometimes.
It's true. And it does help. So that is why I can say, even though it makes me feel silly, doing it, sometimes at first when you start, you don't feel it. But over time, it does help. Because, we believe that things that you speak into the atmosphere, it shifts and it changes and it affects, what happens.
Man.
Yes, so definitely you should do it. The next thing we're saying, spend time with people you love and people who love you.
So I like the last part.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because you can love people who don't love you. But it's important for you to really be around people who love you. When you experience rejection, you don't want to be around people who are going to make you feel even worse than you did before. You don't want to be around people who are going to, help to feed you with negative thoughts. You understand me? And you definitely don't want to be alone.
Right.
You will be tempted to say, okay, I'm going to, just suck up in myself and sit down in a little corner and stay by myself and nobody, whatever. It will tempt you to do that, but that's not the best thing.
Yeah.
It helps to be around people who will encourage you and say, no, man, you didn't get that job. It's all right.
Yeah.
Or they can say,
will come or
don't worry about that. She rejected you or he rejected you. That's on them. Listen, they can help you to...
It's their loss.
Yeah, they can help you to see the things about yourself that you are not able to see in the moment. Because when you're going through that, everything does look dark. But somebody, and I'm not talking about making up things that are not real. I'm talking about the things that are really there, that in the moment you are not able to see and you don't remember.
Yeah.
But people who love you will help you to see that.
Yeah.
Help you to look at yourself and realize, okay, no, man. All right, this happened, but it doesn't mean that this is how it's going to be forever. You brush yourself off, try again. Yeah.
True.
Definitely.
And the last thing to remember, don't let rejection stop you. No. Learn what you can from the experience as well as what you can from your mistakes. Do not allow rejection to stop you from trying future endeavors. A lot of us we try this something and we get rejected. We not do it
done
again.
With that.
We're done. We park it. We put it in a one corner. We say, me never do that again. And it's easy for us to do that. It's very easy for us to do that.
And you feel like you're protecting yourself when you do that.
Your shame tree. Them call it your shame tree.
Yeah, man.
Yeah?
Yes.
It's stand up in your
so ashamed.
Yes, man. And enough how we can't manage that.
Yes.
And a lot of us, it cripples us because even before we went out, even before we were rejected, we don't want to go do it because me no want
get
reject me.
Right. I don't want to get
So even
rejected.
before you are rejected, you not go. So can you imagine if you do muscle up that strength there and then go and then they go reject you? You not do that again, miss. You move up your stuff, them going on one mountain and up there so you live.
Yeah.
But no, we can't allow that because guess what? In our rejections, we see where we made a mistake.
Right. I remember when I told you to stick the pin because your experience that you shared with us when we started is an example right here. You were rejected because you didn't have enough experience or didn't have enough of what they needed. But then you went forward and you advanced yourself by going back to school and doing stuff, to put yourself in a position to better fit what would be expected the next time around. So you learn something from the experience. And if it is that it's a situation where you made a mistake, because as we said, rejection is not always your fault. It's not because of something you did. It's not always because you are not good enough. Sometimes it might be because, saying that you're not good enough in the sense that, okay, you may not have had what was needed at the time.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that you're not good enough as a person. But if it's not something that you did wrong, brush yourself off and try again. A lot of us do that with relationships. If, you put yourself out there with somebody and it don't work out, you're done. Now, you're not bother want nobody and you're not make that happen to you again. And, you dry some things in the sun.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
Like, no, it's not good for you to do that, because guess what? You are then limiting yourself. You shut yourself down and you shut down every opportunity to make yourself even better or happier
But
than
sometimes we have to
right now.
understand that rejection is good, because sometimes we put ourselves out there and maybe if we were accepted, we wouldn't like it.
Yes, it's true.
So that's have to always open it and say, okay,
maybe that wasn't for me.
maybe
or
that was
something.
not for me. It's hard, trust me. It's
Yes, it
hard, but
is.
you have to just say, listen, them always say everything happened for a reason.
Yeah.
Right? Look on it and say, all right, maybe I really was not supposed to get that job. Maybe that man wouldn't
not
treat
for
me
me.
right. Maybe that car would have crashed if me did get it. Just look on the wally papas. Create them. Create them. If you want to
Yes.
better create all of the
Make it
possible
up.
scenarios that could have happened,
Yeah.
why you never did get it. You understand? But listen, don't stop. Don't ever stop. Me I tell you, say it hard, because there are a lot of things that I have to push myself through.
Yeah, man.
And say, boy,
Happens to
you
all of
can't
us.
stop. You just can't. Mind, you can't stop for a few. I can tell you that.
Yeah, because if you're gonna do all of this here, you're gonna have to stop and take a breather. We're
You
not
have
saying
to- yeah, you
okay,
can't take
you
a
get rejected.
pause.
No, and you have to just turn your back round and go over there so go get rejected again. No, that's not ours.
Take a pause. And then
Yeah.
maybe you can find a friend who can tell you how to try it a different way. Maybe
Yes,
another
yes.
time or whatever. Try find somebody who did it and they got accepted, and then ask them, how did you do it? And see if you can mix your idea with them idea. And pause, but don't stop. Don't quit. Don't ever quit.
Right. So those are the tips that we have for you as to how to deal with rejection. And just remember, who you are is who you're supposed to be. And if it is that you really, really think that something is off or wrong about the way you are, then do something about it. You understand me? And just make yourself better. And just know, rejection happens to all of us. You're not alone. You're not alone. That's all I gotta say, Nahesha.
That's all I gotta say. I can give you one pointer though. It's not a rejection story, but it's also good to always have people in your corner who is gonna help pull you through things.
Yeah.
Like right now, Nataki and I were both in school, and I kind of reached the place now my head when I want to stop. You understand? And she's there to draw me through that point and bring me back to a place where I say, all right then. All right, I'm ready to go again. And when she is going to stop, or when she feel like she wants to stop, I am there to say, we don't spend the money
Yes,
already.
we
Make we
just gotta
just
do
done it.
this.
Right? And at the end of the day, when we're done this and whatever, we're going to look on yourself and asking your teeth like two idiots. Why would I go stop?
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Always have somebody in your corner who is going to pull you through. No, find a bad way, I'm going to say, stop for true, yeah, man, because it now work
Yeah,
out.
that not good.
It-
The two of them can't quit one
yeah,
time.
Yeah, the two of them can't be the same thing. You have to always have somebody who are going to just help you through the situation.
Yeah.
We talk about it all the time that, listen, how life not easy.
Nope.
I don't even know if it was created this way. It's not easy. But guess what? Them always say, the hotter the battle, the sweeter the victory. And it is actually true. And maybe I should tell you that story one day, but I will. It's actually true. All right? So that's all for now.
Yes, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember to always like and share, subscribe if you are a new viewer, and just also know that this podcast is available in all the podcasts that are out there. So if you can't watch, you can listen. Just continue to follow us. Inside Us continues. And, we look forward to talking to you again. Always comment. We look forward to hearing from you. If there are things that you want us to discuss, if there are questions you have for us, please share them with us. And we'll see you next time.
Bye guys.